Hornets. With the 10th pick in the 2017 NFL Draft, the Kansas City Chiefs select Patrick Mahomes, the second quarterback.
Patrick Mahomes, coming into this game, had never won a road playoff game. He has now. 25, 22, and the Chiefs Kingdom has started its own history class. In 6,944 days, there is a back-to-back Super Bowl champion, and it is the Kansas City Chiefs.
All right, so we're here with Joaquin. Joaquin, all the way from Kansas City, down here in South Florida. I mean, I'm a Kansas City Chiefs fan, Kansas City guy, born and raised. This, in my opinion, is the best Mahomes collection on earth. And if not the best, it is definitely the rarest collection on earth. So first and foremost, man, thanks for having me down. But congratulations on doing something that has never been done before, and also something that, in my opinion, I don't know if it's ever going to be done again. These are hard cards to find. So maybe talk a little bit about why you initially got interested in Patrick Mahomes and his cards.
Well, that starts from his days in Texas Tech. You know, saw something special there and wanted to follow his career. And I knew I wanted the gold and the gold vinyl. And at that point, it was too expensive. So what I started doing was I kind of made a note to myself, if they ever got to a certain price point, that I was going to go all in and grab the 2017 Gold Prizm and Gold Vinyl. And when they got to a price point, I reached out to Alt and acquired both at the same time.
It's
Could not be any happier.
It's amazing, man. I mean, just holding this card. So I'm holding the Gold Prizm out of 10, the 2017 Gold Prizm Mahomes rookie. And then here is the Gold Vinyl out of 5. When I look at the two of these, I mean, this is literally a holy grail card for me as a Chiefs fan, a Mahomes collector. But so I don't know if you knew this. So I was actually doing some research. You realize there are 8 billion people on Earth. The odds of owning a card, just any card out of 10, let alone a desirable card out of 10, is 1 in 1.6 billion people. So the rarity of owning this card is unbelievable. And then this one is more rare than this.
Right.
But let's talk about this. So obviously this collection, you've done a run where you've completed his entire career, both in the true golds and the gold vinyls. But this is the centerpiece of the collection. So let's talk about these real quick. So I've got, my favorite cards. When you look at the two of these, and I'll let you hold them. Which I'll let you hold them. They're yours. Which one do you if you had to sell one or you had to keep one, which would you hold on to? Which one? And tell me a little bit about like why you like.
Hypothetically.
Yeah.
So I made a post about this, and I would say on my Instagram, it was 50-50 split. People call this the true gold, and some people still call this the superfractor. To me, honestly, the out of 5 gold vinyl, I would want to hang on.
Dude, that's the same pick, and obviously it's a difficult choice to make because they're both amazing. You've got the amazing shine of the true gold. True gold has its fanatics. But I love the gold vinyls, man. I don't know.
They're clean.
They're clean. They have a high-end feel to them. And then obviously they're more rare. They're tougher to find, tougher to get. So yeah, I mean, you obviously can't go wrong with either, man. But I'm with you. I probably would go gold vinyl, and we probably will have a bunch of people that are mad because we're saying that. But I mean, you can't go wrong with the true gold. It's incredible. I mean, and to have it in a PSA 10 is, it's wild, man. Well, let's talk a little bit more about. So we're on to 2018. 2018, as you know, was the first year that Mahomes actually got to play. Me watching it as a Chiefs fan, we had no idea when he was drafted he was going to be what he became. But then 2018, he ended up winning the MVP that year. Took us to the playoffs, got us over the initial playoff curse that Chiefs fans would talk about. So let's talk about the 2018 Prizm. What are your thoughts on it? What do you like about it? Maybe if you have a story about how you obtained them and which was more tough to get.
For sure, the 18 gold vinyl. Gentleman by the name of Randy, great guy, actually has a BGS 10 of the gold vinyl 2018.
Wow.
I would say we exchanged texts back and forth. Really sweet, nice guy. And he said, when I'm ready to move it, I'll reach out. And stayed patient. And I did. And we made a deal. And I definitely, that and I would say the 2019 gold vinyl were the two hardest to get.
Okay.
To finish.
Okay. Yeah, man. Well, his 2018 stuff, to me, is special because it signifies that first, in a way, obviously this is his first card, but he wasn't playing in 2017. So 2018 is the first year where he came on the scene. So there's something special with his 2018 stuff. But man, these are incredible. Now, looking at the two of these, this true gold is actually beautiful. I mean, both of them are awesome, but man, the gold on 2018, the way it shines is definitely one of my favorites. And so I will ask you a little bit, but let's go on to 2019. So this year, which one did you have first? Did you get the true gold?
The true gold first.
Okay, you got the true gold first.
The 19 gold vinyl was the last one for me to complete the set.
Okay. So this was so in a sense, this is what completed the entire run.
Correct. They did a deal with Daniel for that.
Okay.
To finish the gold vinyl run.
Okay. Yeah, man, these are incredible. When I first got my 2019, it was actually one of my least favorites, and this card grew on me. And to where I love the 2019 now.
Really? There's
something about him kind of leaning back, getting ready to sling it that I really, really like. But it initially was not one of my favorites. Now it actually is up there. Incredible, man, incredible. So this next one here, this is very near and dear to my heart. This 2020. 2020, I have a lot of nostalgia towards 2020 just because, we had the pandemic happen, the world is shutting down. So this is the marker for when things got wild, football shut down.
Yep.
But then this is, the first season when Mahomes won a Super Bowl. So let's talk about 2020. How long have you had these and kind of, Tell me a little bit about them.
So the gold vinyl was an upgrade. Had it in the 9, and I knew the gentleman that had the 10. And me, I needed to have it. So we made a deal. I made a very good offer, and the seller was surprised I made that good of an offer, and we made a deal. 2020, as you know, I was at the Super Bowl, right? And was pumped to see him win his first one. I mean, it was sketchy, when San Fran was up. I think it was the third quarter they were up, right? And then Mahomes came back and won it.
It's amazing, man. Well, the thing that I think a lot of people don't know, I mean, there will be people in the card world that understand this, but there's going to be people that watch this that have no idea how difficult these are to get. And I think you got in at a time where everything just with true golds, with the gold vinyls, with the Prizm, rare stuff, especially with Mahomes, everything just took off. And guys don't want to get rid of these.
Right.
You don't see them pop up. And if they very rarely do, they're priced so astronomically high
that it doesn't make sense.
That it doesn't make sense. So, again, I don't think this will ever be done again. Now it may be done, but I just think it's going to be very difficult for anyone to do it. But what kind of advice would you give to someone? Let's say they've got their favorite player and they want to do something similar. They want to put together a career run for their player, and they're just now starting.
So I got some good advice from my buddy Jason.
Okay.
And Jason said, if you really want to do this, stop worrying about PSA 10. Just get the cards. If it's an 8, if it's a 9, you can always upgrade later. And that's how I completed this. I have upgraded 3 already, and I want to continue to do the rest. But that advice is what got me to finish the run.
Totally, man. No, that's true. And I tell people with cards like these, obviously, who wouldn't want a 10? Who wouldn't want the best that you can get? But that being said, when there's only 5 or 10 of a card on the face of the earth,
got to get what you can get.
Get what you can get because no one else owns it, right? So moving on to this 2021, the first 2021 that I got, so this used to be mine.
Yep.
But the one I had before this, I bought raw from a lady in Shanghai, and it came. I sent it into PSA. It came back a PSA 4, and I was pleased with it.
Right.
I was, I was pumped because I didn't know anyone else that owned one. And this specific year, 2021, was a trash year for Prizm and for their super condition sensitive. A lot of the stuff's off-centered. So the fact that you have a PSA 10 in the 2021 is incredible, man. I love this card.
I had somebody reach out to me and tell me they had a raw 21 and they think it had a chance of 10ing and came back a 9.
Came back a 9.
Yeah.
Which is still, to me, for 21, a 9 is incredible. But yeah, man, this is a card.
It's beautiful.
And the shine on 21
Yep.
is incredible. I think people don't realize that, if you don't know Prizm, every year has its own nuances. Every year is a little bit different. Now they all go together. It's what that's what the company planned. They want them to look similar, but all of them have their own nuances. You've got condition sensitive things with 21. I think that is something that is interesting to know about.
So that's my only 8 in the collection, so I'm dying to upgrade that one.
Yeah, and again, 2021, an 8 is a hard card that's a strong grade in 21. And, I don't think people realize, how tough it is to get a 10, but I'm sure if it's out there, it'll pop up on your radar at some point. But yeah, another beautiful card. So then 2022, this specific year, I want to hear your opinion on it, but 2022, the gold vinyl is actually my favorite gold vinyl of any year. I love it. Shines in a way that is just incredible, man. And then the true gold, I like the image because it reminds me a lot of the 2017, the rookie. But I love, man, this was probably my favorite gold vinyl card as far as eye appeal is concerned. So yeah, if you kind of took a look at those two, and then never had seen another other than the 2017, kind of look at how there's just how he's he's kind of sitting in
Very
the middle
similar.
of the card, and so it reminds me a lot of that iconic rookie.
Yeah, I know I told this story before, but the 22 and 23 gold vinyl is what started this whole thing. I was in Costa Rica on vacation, and somebody listed them both, the 22 and the 23 gold vinyl PSA 10s, and I said, if I buy this, I'm going to make the run, so I probably shouldn't buy this because I don't want to put the time and the effort to do this.
Right.
And the Panthers won the Stanley Cup. Florida Panthers won the Stanley Cup, and I did the deal. And I knew once.
And you were in Costa Rica at
with
the time?
my family, yeah, watching the Panthers win the Stanley Cup. As soon as they won is when I made the deal.
That's awesome, man. Yeah. And yet you kind of had a little sobriety to you because you knew that was going to open the floodgates up. Man, I'm glad you did. It's incredible. I mean, again, to me, this is actually a very cool accomplishment. And who can say that they've done it? And I think this will actually inspire other guys to do this for their favorite players. It doesn't have to be Mahomes. I mean, it can be whoever your favorite player is, but it presents a challenge. And I think the challenge of finding these, obtaining them, and then the art of the deal, working out the deal, that's a whole other thing. And so maybe talk a little bit about that. Have guys that have sold these cards to you, have they been generally easy to work with, difficult to work with? What's your feeling?
I would say I don't get here without doing the deal with you. So I guess we could talk about that if you want. So I would say you were probably the easiest to deal with only because you had the majority of what I was looking for.
Yeah.
Not to take away anything from the other guys. It was just they were one card at a time, usually, unless it was the 22 and 23. So I would say you had a number, there wasn't really a negotiation. I just said, let's do the deal. And I think you were fair. And, we met in Fort Lauderdale and we did the deal.
Yeah. Well, man, one thing I forgot to negotiate into the deal was regular visits. So, I mean, it's awesome, but that's one of those things where, when you reached out, I didn't want to sell the cards. Like I actually genuinely, I was a vintage baseball guy. And when I started buying these gold prisms, my mindset shifted, and especially because this was my guy, Mahomes, the rarity, the difficulty to find them, how cool they look, the fact that they are, I was listening to Stacking Slabs. So you met Brett.
Yep.
I was listening to Stacking Slabs as I was on my zero-turn mower one day, and just a light bulb went off in my head. And I was like, when I'm thinking about Mahomes and his career is said and done, it's over. At the end of his career, what would be the cards that I would want personally as a Chiefs fan and as a sports card collector? And so I thought, okay, I want iconic, I want the name brand, and I want rarity. What cards meet all those? And then what looks cool too? Because you can have a rare card, but it doesn't. It has no eye appeal. People don't want it because it doesn't look cool.
Makes sense.
So I thought, what are those? And bam, the gold prisms, the gold vinyls. So yeah, man, I think this is a very, very special collection, and it's one of a kind, and this may inspire somebody out there to do the same. And all power to them. It'd be awesome if they could. Let's move on to. So we've got a Prizm flashback in here, which I love the the ode to kind of the original days of Prizm. So we've got the 22 gold Prizm flashback. And then on to 23. So you've got a 10 in both the gold vinyl and the true gold. Now, which one of these did you get first?
So ended up with the 23 gold vinyl with the 22 gold vinyl. in Costa Rica. So those came first.
Okay,
Those were
that's
the
right. That was the Costa Rica ones.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, those are awesome too, man. Now the next year, so we've got another one of the flashbacks. And then the next year, the 2024, I've actually never held one of these. I've never seen these. I actually loved it this year. Now, do we know, is this going to be the last year of the Prizm Golds?
It's supposed to be.
Okay.
Not only golds, I believe, Prizm.
Okay, yeah. And I think, if this is the last year when they lose their license, they may make unlicensed stuff. I don't even, who knows? I know there's lawsuits involved.
Right.
But 24, it feels like they did an amazing. I love 24. I think it's actually a really cool design. Yeah, I actually I've never held this before.
So I've opened 3 or 4 cases, and it's very, card sensitive. There's a lot of white on the back of certain cards, so it's really hard to get a 10.
So yeah, I mean, even having a 9 in a gold vinyl out of 5 to me is still incredible. And I think about just years from now, at the end of his career, these cards, man, this is like they're dried up. Where are you going to find them? I mean, well, they're here in South Florida. They're here in South Florida. As we kind of close out, tell me a little bit about like how it feels to have completed it and what's next. I mean, to me, it's time to just enjoy it, sit back, pull them out, enjoy watching the games. But how's it feel?
I mean, it feels fantastic. But I would say I sat in that chair where you're sitting now and done this probably way too many times, just as an accomplishment of finally getting there. But I would say, the card community is pretty badass, where I have guys trying to help me upgrade each, probably get a couple DMs a day. Sometimes they're not the right card, but I would say I'm looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 upgrades. And obviously upgrading an 8 to a 9 or a 9 to a 10. That's what's next, and that's going to be very, very difficult. And I know that. Yeah. But I loved doing it. I loved the deals. I loved, meeting people. This is the second time we're together, so I think that's pretty cool. The friendships in the hobby and how this thing grows is just, something I'll definitely cherish. So.
For sure, man. Well, hey, again, congrats. As a Chiefs fan, there's nothing better for this is awesome for me just to be able to sit here and look at these and yeah, man, I'm like a kid in a candy shop. So, well, congrats again. Thanks, Joaquin, and appreciate it, man. What an amazing collection. I hope Pat sees this because he needs to.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for doing this. And again, this doesn't get completed without, making the big deal with you. So thank you.
Honored to be a part of it, man.
Awesome. Thanks, Rick. Appreciate it.